just came to play for the money. On 7 good ponies and some damn good swing. So get your team together, get fired up.
Hi everyone, welcome to the 9th Swan Cup video podcast. My name is Alex Wrobel from the Inverell Polocrosse Club, and we're going to endeavour to complete a podcast every week in the lead up to the 2021 Inverell Swan Cup. I'm the president of the Inverell Polocrosse Club, and we're going to use this podcast to provide you with information about the Swan Cup and meet the people behind the scenes who will help to make our event a success. The Swan Cup will run from the 8th to the 11th of July 2021, and our open men's polocrosse and sail nominations open on the 19th of April and close on the 10th of May 2021. I'm here with club member and leader of our Swan Cup, Cameron Neville. How you going, Cameron?
Great, mate.
Tonight we're going to switch things up a little bit and talk through some of the key questions that we've received from the New South Wales Polocrosse board members, players, the general public, the Stock Horse Society, and breeders out there as well. Cameron, we've had a lot of players interested in our 2021 Open Men's competition, and they're beginning to form their teams in preparation for the event from the 8th to the 11th of July. What do you need to do to play in the 2021 Swan Cup Open Men's competition?
Yeah, mate. So first up, we'll mix it up a bit tonight and just answer a few questions that are getting fired at us. But to come in 2021, it's a men's only comp. If you're 17 and over, you're able to play. Now, you need 7 players in your team with 7 registered horses on your nomination form when we send them out. Now, we have capped the points system to try and make it fair for as many teams as we can get. So the point system is, for 7 players, is 56 points. But the highest 6 players, the highest 6 rated players at any one time can only add up to 48 points. So it's an average of 8 points across the whole each player. So for instance, I'm in a side where we range from 7.5 to 8.5, and we average at 8 points at 48 points. I'm the weakest link at 6.5 points, so we can't go over our 56 points. So, and our best team on the field will never be over our 48 points. And if there's a team out there lucky enough to have 7 8-point players, which is 56 points, that's just fair game.
All right, excellent. So, Cameron, there's plenty of people out there with some fantastic horses that want to come and play in our 2021 Swan Cup Open Men's competition. Does the horse have to be a registered Australian stock horse to play in the Open Men's competition?
The simple answer is no. So to play in the Open Men's competition in 2021 or in any year going forward, the Open Men's competition is open to all horses. You can play on a pure thoroughbred, a pure quarter horse, Australian stock horse cross, or a pure Australian stock horse. It's open to all horses, as long as they're nominated with the team and the points cap's all the same. There's no reason why we're going to stop the best players bringing their best horses to show the best spectacle we can.
Yeah, definitely something we're really looking forward to. Cameron, why is there a sale in 2021, and why is it an approved Australian stock horse sale?
Yeah, mate. So the Swan Cup idea is to have an incentive sale where people can come and buy horses out of our sale, which can make them come back and play in a separate competition in 2022. So the 2021 Australian stock horse approved sale is only for Australian stock horses that are registered and are entered by members of the Australian Stock Horse Society. All those horses have to be ridden. There's no led horses or yearlings or mares in foal. They're all ridden horses. We'd like to think the majority of them are stick and ball and showing themselves off, but doesn't have to be the case either. If someone wants to sell an Australian stock horse that thinks better at camp drafting our sale, it's more than welcome as well. But you definitely have to have an Australian stock horse to be in our sale, and that gives the people coming to our event in 2021 the option to buy a horse and to come back and compete in 2022.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for answering that one for us. Cameron, there's a lot of people out there who can see a lot of potential in our event and want to get in early in our foundation year and be a part of it. How do people play in the 2022 Open Men's Competition?
Yeah, mate. So to play in the Open Men's Competition in 2022, you either have had to have been a vendor for the 2021 sale or a purchaser of the 2021 sale. Now, those vendors and purchasers can nominate the players that they want to play in their spots. And if they buy or sell a number of horses, that gives them multiple entries into the open men's competition. So if my father sells a horse in the 2021 sale, he doesn't want to play in 2022, he can say, righto, Cameron, you can play in my spot in the 2022 Open Men's Competition. If Alex Wrobel's mum buys him a horse out of the 2021 sale and says, righto, well, I don't want to play in the Open Men's Competition in 2022, but you can play for me, well, that's allowed. And if they buy multiple horses, they get multiple spots. They sell multiple horses, they get multiple spots to be a part of our 2022 Open Men's Comp.
Okay, and with the Open Men's Competition, because it's not our incentive competition, do those horses in 2022 have to be registered Australian stock horses?
No, mate, no. So we just want the best players to turn up on their best horses. So they don't have to be the horses that are bought. They don't have to be a registered Australian stock horse. They're just their best horse that they've got to enter for the 2022 Open Men's Competition.
All right. And we've got our Swan Cup sale with our incentives that you talked about just before. Those horses that go into that incentive sale, do they have to be Australian stock horses?
Yes, they do. Yes, so to be a part of the 2021 Australian Stock Horse Swan Cup sale, you have to be a registered Australian stock horse. Now, in 2022, those horses get the option to come back and what we are going to call our Swan Cup competition. Not the Open Men's Competition, the Swan Cup competition, which is for the horses that are purchased out of our 2021 sale. So depending on the age of the horse that gets purchased out of the 2021 Swan Cup sale, that horse has options on whether it has to come back the following year or it can come back when it's turning 6 years old. So we don't want people to bring back or buy a 2-year-old and turn around and think they have to play a 3-year-old. But if your horse is turning 6 in the year that you purchased it, you're required to come back and play that in the year after and the following year. So the beauty of it is that if you purchase a horse out of the Swan Cup, you actually get 2 cracks at coming back and playing in the Swan Cup incentive competition. So I buy a horse out of the 2021 sale. I get the option to come back and play him in 2022 in the Swan Cup incentive competition and 2023 in the Swan Cup incentive competition. But it still only gives me one option to come back and play in the Open Men's Comp.
All right. And like you were just saying, that Swan Cup sale offers those future incentives to horses purchased out of the 2021 sale. How do those purchasers enter a team into the 2022 Swan Cup incentive, into the competition?
Yeah, so what we hope happens, mate, is certain teams come together, certain players come together from all across the country, and they buy horses out of the sale. For instance, say there's 6 Inverell competitors there who purchase a horse. Now, we might try and put our own team back together and come back in the 2022 Swan Cup incentive competition. But the points cap there is different. And now we've made it for 36 points. We've made it for men and women, and as long as you're 17 and over. 36 points, men and women, 17 and over, on a horse that is purchased out of the 2021 competition. You can come back and play in the 2022 or 2023 Swan Cup incentive competition.
Yep. So those horses that are purchased in the 2021 sale can come back in the 2022 and 2023 competition.
Yeah, mate. And it's men and it's women. And as long as you're 17 and over and your capped points is 36 and less, then you're up and running with the side. You can play with any whatever you like.
How many players in that side?
Yeah, so until we get a number of horses up and running and the sale is a success and we get enough horses through the event, we only expect there to be 6 players and 6 horses nominated.
And like I know in the first year of the sale, we're going to have sort of a bit more limited numbers because we haven't got 2 years of that sale together yet. Do all 6 of those horses entered have to be purchased out of the 2021 sale?
No, so it's a little bit tricky how we handle this. And the Swan Cup committee and talking to a few other breeders and a few other players, we've decided to make it that you need a minimum of 4 horses in your side purchased out of the 2021 sale. So if our Inverell club only buys 4 horses and we're trying to put a team together, we have to nominate those 4 horses first, and then we need to pick 2 registered Australian stock horses that can come from anywhere, can be any age, that can play, as long as our points are still under 36 points, and as long as those 2 horses only play the position of a number 2.
You're right. So, for example, if yourself, Brett Woodward, Cody Woodward, and I put a team together, and we were looking at, finding 2 other players that weren't on horses that, like, we'd all bought horses in the sale, and we were looking at putting a team together that with those other people, they could only play a 2. We'd have to play the 1s and the 3s because we were on the horses bought out of that sale.
Well, the horses have only got to play those positions.
Yeah.
We may be able to change as long as the horses only play those spots.
Oh, yeah.
So if we need to swap around and someone wants to play a good number 2 horse which is sitting at home and wants to give Brett Woodward the option to play his horse as a 1, well, that is allowed. As long as the horses are playing a 1 and a 3 and the 2 spare horses are playing in the middle, it really doesn't matter who rides them as long as the cap points is not over 36.
Excellent. Thanks for clarifying that one for us. So, Cameron, if people are unsure how to enter a horse into the sale or a team into our competition for the 2021 Swan Cup that runs on the 8th to 11th of July, where do they go to find out that information?
Yeah, so the Nutrien Equine website has got all our links on there. It's got all our rules. It will have our nomination forms when they come out, both for the sale and the competition. The Australian Stock Horse Society has also got links. If you speak to anyone there at the Australian Stock Horse Society office, they're more than helpful. They'll guide you in the way. They've also got our rules. If you need to find any really fine print or want to dive right into the finer details of it all, like, I'd really like people to contact myself or Alex. More than willing to talk about any part of it to any person. And I think that's where we're at.
Yeah. So, like, I know we've I've tagged yourself, myself in all of our Facebook posts. If people are wanting to have a look, it'll be tagged in this Facebook post that this podcast is a part of. And, either contact us on Facebook via Messenger. Most of the, print sort of stuff we put out has your phone number and my phone number on it. You can get hold of us. And at this current time, we're in the process of trying to organise a Swan Cup website so that we can have all of those details, so that we can have our rules on there, all of our dates for our competition, our dates for our sale, our dates for nominations for the sale and for the competition. We're going to try and put all of our podcasts on there as well, so people can filter back through them if they want to re-watch. We're trying to get all of that information in that one spot, and we'll try and keep all of our, archive a lot of our sale history and those sorts of things on there as well, that we can keep in the long term, and people can go back. I know when people go back to, the Classic at Landmark, Cameron, they want to go back and know how much someone paid for a horse, who bought that horse, those things when they're competing in those future incentives. It's just those little key points of interest. So we'll have a lot of that information on there that'll be stored in there for the future.
Well, it's important, mate, that we keep a track of who's buying what horses and how old those horses are, so we can keep a track on people not going outside the rules and playing that horse for an extra year in the Swan Cup incentive competition. We've got to make it as fair as we can for everyone, and we want everyone to play by the rules. And if it's up there in black and white, then we really can't find ourselves like it's not. Someone comes and breaks the rules, well, they'll be out.
It'll also become a good spot where, if I'm looking to put together an incentive team for the Swan Cup competition in 2022, I might be able to search through and go, geez, I remember that horse. He was an outstanding one. Someone outbid me on him. I want to go through and work out who owns him so I can find out, and I want them to play with me because that horse to me stood out. I want them to be a part of my team.
Oh, definitely, mate. We want people to be going through there and looking at who bought what, and ringing them and saying, "Oh, have you made up a team for the incentive competition? Are you going to come back? Or if not, do you want someone to ride your horse? We'd like to take him." All those options come available to everyone. A lot of people will go there with an idea of, right, oh, well, I'll buy one, you buy one. But sometimes in an auction, it just doesn't happen like that. So I think the more information we can give the players, the breeders, the sponsors, the public, everyone can go on there at any time. I think a website is a massive boost for the Inverell Swan Cup.
Yeah, definitely. And it'll also hold all those important bits of information like, our contact details, our email address, all of those extra details that people are always chasing.
That's it.
So just a reminder before we go, our event will run from the 8th to the 11th of July 2021, and our Open Men's Polocrosse and Sale nominations open on the 19th of April and close on the 10th of May 2021. Cameron Neville, thanks for joining me once again, and look forward to seeing you.
Thanks, mate.
So I can have a chop at you at the Inverell Swan Cup.